Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM22 Journeyman. We're on episode number 11. We're getting into the later stages of the season, as in the very late stages of the season. We played a couple more matches. We lost a surprise one on the road at a team that was quite a bit lower in the standings. It was Borneo, who's 11th. It was 0-0 late, and we ended up with an own goal. That did us in on that one. So very unfortunate there, as it looked like we had a poor performance, but we're still outplaying them and just couldn't get a goal. Then meanwhile, after that, we had a home match against the second place Tira something side, the hyphenated one, and we won 5-2. Put 5 goals in against them as they are battling for a penalty? It is a penalty. It's a penalty. We're going to step up. So we were held on that free kick. And Guino, just squeezes that past the keeper. Indra Guino taking the penalty and scoring. Nice. And we lead 1-0 in this one. All right, so the 5-2 was a whole performance, solid throughout the team. Really, really excellent result. And that puts us in a strong position. We are 5th place right now. Hangara with an excellent save there to keep the chance at 3 points alive in this one. We're already at 1 on the XG. Of course, that penalty amounts for so much of that. The opponent today, lower side Lucas Gabriel. Poor finish on that one. That was a tap into the back of the net. He tried to go far post when he already beat his guy near post. You just put that in near post or put it in the middle, and that's a goal. Fashrudin puts that one away. The initial ball was not on target, but Fashrudin there to pounce on it. Hangara should have done better on that one. Speaking of Hangara, here's the status as we are late season. Sinji has been named among the 10 best players in the league. He's up for the Player of the Year award. Not favorite to win, though. He is unlikely to get very many votes, but he at least got nominated. But the Young Player of the Year award. Now, Gabriel has not been named with his 10 goals for that award, surprisingly. For one thing, he's missed quite a few matches, so that hurts his chances. But 2 of our players have been nominated, as Agung called for the foul on that one. Halftime. Boy, we went quiet after that early goal. Fernando, even though he joined us partway into the season, has played enough matches that he's been named. His rating is only like a 7.06. It's not great. It's okay. The Young Player Award, though, not much quality. Really, not much. And guess who is one of the favorites? Hangara, who's had, 5 shutouts in his last 6-7 matches? He is among the favorites. He absolutely has a chance to win that award. He has the highest rating in any of the 10 that were selected for it. He's got a number of shutouts. His goal rate is below 1 per game. He's been solid. He's been really good. Gosh, come on, guys. Let's encourage the team. And let's look to sub before time runs out. 70 minutes. What can we do here? Agung not having much of a day. Lestaluhu having a terrible day. So is Cristanto. What can we do with that one? Maybe we bring on Nando and then switch Nando with Guino. Push Guino up into a higher position. He's feeling good after scoring his goal, though his overall rating's not great. Agung is struggling. Why don't we? And tired. Sinji might be a little more tired, but let's bring on Mofu. Okay, we're giving him a little too much space there, creating a chance that shouldn't have been there, and Hangara at least makes the save, but can't hang on to it. They just upped their tempo here, and their XG has climbed. They finally at least have done enough to deserve a goal finally. But what can we do? We certainly look like we're deserving of a second. Long ball over the top. Whew. Great first touch on that one. Not a very good third touch, though, after he took 2 touches. Sinji! Oh. Agung over the top. Lestaluhu! Not offside. What? Lestaluhu was clearly not off, but maybe the initial ball was. There's Yunus. Sagung inside. Sinji! No, there's no offside in there. What is going on? Wow. We are on the... No, we're at home. We're at home. Nice ball inside. Yunus turns. He's ripped down in the box. No call. Sagung. That's deflected, and Ridwan picks it up. Final play, probably. And we turn it over. We give them a chance, but we recover. Still no whistle. Over the top and giving it away again. This has got to be it. Final whistle. No, again they let it through. Hangara picks it up. Lucas Gabriel loses the ball, and again, that's got to be it, and it finally is. Only a point today. Only a point. 2 teams pretty evenly matched. XG-wise, we should have had 2. Should have had 2. They had 4 yellow cards, put it in a dangerous position. We had no yellow cards. We scored that early penalty, and we gave away so many other chances. So many opportunities, and could not make the most of it. And with just 3 matches to go in the season now, we sit on 53 points in 5th place. Persipura have pushed ahead of us. We do have a goal differential advantage if we can get back in there. 6 points clear, so we're looking at most likely 4th or 5th place the rest of the way. So how can we do in these last 3 games? The good news, even though 2 of the 3 are on the road, the good news is we're finally up against sides that are 10th or below. So where we just went through a long stretch of games against top 10 sides, now we finally get the bottom 10 sides. And that should help. That should help. I would hope that we can get about 7 points out of these 3. I would hope we don't take any losses, but with 2 road matches, you never know. We certainly could be looking at 1 loss, but it would be nice if we can come away with just 1 draw and maybe 2 wins. I'd be pretty happy with that, and 7 points. You never know. That's probably going to be enough to get back up into 4th. Either way, 4th or 5th place is an outstanding result of the season. Let's go make sure we at least get a few points, though, so that we don't drop. And we're getting a new contract offer. They want to keep us around $41,000 per year. It's a 1-year deal. Work within payroll, 1-year contracts for no change. End of current season, fight bravely against relegation. Next year, repair the club's financial damage. All right, so there's nothing I could do. Again, I forget that in contract renegotiations, you can't do anything. I don't know why that can't be part of your renegotiation, right? The new contract, the interview process is where you ask that. Just the regular standard contract, it's not an option, which is silly. It's silly that I can't put that into a contract renewal, and we can't discuss it there. Meantime, obviously, we'll take the job. We don't want to suddenly be unemployed, but we're still going to look to go elsewhere, even with the new contract. It's only a 1-year deal. And we enter our final match of the season, and we still have something to play for today. What we're playing for is 4th place. Currently, we sit in 5th place on the exact same points, even though we have the goal differential advantage. League sorting is head-to-head matchups first, then goal differential. And they've got us beat on the head-to-head matchup, as we haven't done terribly well against the top teams because, well, we're not a top team. We're a bottom team that's played well above our level throughout this season. And so where we've lacked is against those better teams that have that clear advantage that we really struggled to match. We've got a couple of results there, but overall, not much. So that means we really need to get the 3 points today to at least give us a chance at 4th place. We're not going to drop below 5th. We've got that well secured. So for that, it's okay if we lose, but to have a chance at 4th. How is he offside? He's not offside. We keep getting called. Gabriel, over and over again in the matches that we participate in, gets called offside when he is level, when he is onside. we've got some really, really poor reffing here in the league, and it's cost us repeatedly as Lucas Gabriel tries to make those runs and keeps getting called offside when he isn't. Walladane is injured, but he was cleared. He passed his fitness test. He's at its last game of the season, so there's not much going on there. But ugly first half with 3 shot attempts for either side, neither one even getting to a tenth of a point of XG thus far. So we definitely want to be more aggressive in the second half and let them know that, yeah, this isn't good enough. Hands on hips. Okay, that's going to get a reaction out of them, and that's good. They make all 3 subs at halftime. Dang. Okay. Well, they're very much trying to change things up. Let's see if a little extra motivation helps us out. We can save our subs for a little later and see how things go. So far, possession was good for them to open the half. And with that highlight done, though, now time's just kind of cruising along already. 55th minute, finally, first shot attempt of the second half after 10 minutes. They just went really close there, but I think Hangara probably had it covered. Walladane's still struggling. Sinji gets that away. I think it's time to make that first sub. Let's do it from the tactics screen. Walladane he's nervous. He's poor condition. Let's go ahead and push Gowino up, which it's not a great spot for him, but we'll bring on Nanda. I'd rather have Nanda on than... Oh, see, we don't even have him available anyway. Maidula. There he is. And he's anxious too, so... All right, we'll start with that as our first change. We are going to try to go more aggressive because, again, we need 3 points, and 1 point really doesn't matter at this stage. Lucas Gabriel through, lays it off. Sinji turns. Bad body language from the team here. They're not attack-minded enough. Back to the goal. Back to the goal. Back to the goal so quickly, so easily. Nanda has picked up a knock here. Are you sure about that? It's not showing here. Oh, 1 yellow card away from suspension, but I don't know why that's showing up like that. Well, anyway. What can we do? Where can we do it? Lucas Gabriel really struggling. Let's go positive for one thing. Let's give a shout of encouragement. Oh, where's Mofi? Mofi's not here. I guess Fari it is. Oh, Mofi's already on. That's right. We had a suspension, and Mofi got the start. Yellow card suspension. Got a lot of those here these last couple months of the season. Fari intercepts Lucas Gabriel. Byline. Way back pass. Too much back passes, not enough forward. Yunus again lays it off. Gowino takes it past his man, crosses it. Oh, what a block there. That was almost a sure goal from that position, unless you kick it straight to the keeper. And they're going to turn. That's through. If Nanda recovers. 15 minutes to go. Mofu over the top. Inside, that's in. That was in. That was the roof of the net. That was the roof of the net. That hit the crossbar. Roof of the net. That's completely across the goal line. How is that not a goal? You gotta be kidding me. Apparently not. Apparently you're not kidding me. No? There's Reisel in there. Final minute. Absolute bore of a match, but we put the ball in the back of the net. We got called offsides with Gabriel when we weren't. Not that we ever even saw the shot attempt on that, so we don't know what that would have been, but we just haven't been good enough today. I mean, flat out, it shouldn't have come down to either of these scenarios, we should have had a couple goals. Lucas Gabriel, that ball's not the right one. That was right to where the defender was, and there's the final whistle. We end with a point, but unless it was a loss, we are going to finish the league in 5th place. And they did lose. Persipura lost their final match. Their final was 1-0, goal in the 14th minute. They never could score. PSS getting the win. That actually moved PSS up into 6th place from 7th. Persipura losing at home. Our draw ends up being enough. Now, we're 10 points behind Persebaya. We are nearly 20 points behind Arema and Tira. Persicabo, who we beat 5-2 just a couple weeks ago, ends up claiming the title after they beat Arema head-to-head. Not this match, but about a week ago. And that was the turning point. They went from second into the lead. Arema dropping points a couple times late on, including that loss there. And the favorite ends up losing the title. Tira Persicabo winning the title. Arema, Persebaya, that's your podium. We get 4th place, though, in our first season back here. We were hoping for 35 points this year. We end up 23 points beyond that. Well clear. And the 35 would have been easily avoiding the drop, though certainly wouldn't have been a good points haul. That would have only been enough for 15th, but still. The two teams that were promoted with us, PSPS, Daewoo United, both relegated. That's saying a lot. Persic here in the last game. No wonder they were playing like their life depended on it, because it did. That 1 point did not make the difference, but the 3 points certainly would have made them feel a lot better. PSPS only grabbed 1 point. A win from PSPS would have given them 32. Persic loses. PS would have survived. Persic would have been dropped instead. So they did have a relegation battle on for them. No wonder they didn't give us an easy match and we didn't cruise, even though for us it mattered. We should have done better, but both teams, that was a stalemate. An absolute ugly mess of a stalemate. Well, this certainly helps a bit. 200,000 for finishing 4th place in the league. That's certainly a good haul of cash considering how strapped we are. Collective bonuses were 63,000. So again, that puts the money in the right direction, almost 150,000 to the good. That helps the club a lot. Grab our season in review here, and then next time we're going to be looking for a new job and seeing what happens from there. Ronnie Sugain coming in from the league winners. 29 starts, 2 appearances off the bench, just 2 goals, but 8 assists, 7.24 rating, was instrumental to our success this season. Agung as well. Those were huge finds. And Nanda ended up being a pretty solid grab for us. He really helped us out. Now, with us, he had 12 starts, 3 appearances off the bench. He had some appearances for PSS as well. So both sides getting a chance to play. And as for that Rookie of the Year nod, he was in the conversation, ended up with that 7.05 rating. Walidane, not great. Really not great. 34 appearances, 5 goals though. That's certainly not bad. 3 assists. Just barely getting a 7.0 rating. But as much as we struggled with things, that was definitely helpful. Gabriel, kind of disappointing. Under 7 on the rating. 13 goals for the entire year and 33 total appearances. 4 assists. Definitely didn't set others up terribly well. He would have done a lot more if he had 7 or 8 assists. It would have been a lot more helpful for us. But kind of a 1 out of 3 matches, or a little better than 1 out of 3 matches to get a goal. Not a great return rate for what's supposedly the best player on the squad. Cristanto did pretty okay, considering we brought him in for nothing and at his age, and just to be a okay option for us. He was super helpful. He was healthy. He played throughout. He barely missed any time. That was That was big for us. Lesteluhu was never going to be anything fantastic. Could have been worse, could have been better. Of all the moves away, most of them didn't play. Most of them, it was either lower divisions or they didn't play much. Sataiwan, I was surprised at how much he played for Persiba and what they offered us for him. Harlem, I was surprised what they offered us for him. Harlem played a lot, but you can see that he wasn't great. Sataiwan was okay for the level. Wopi played mostly for us, but we, you could see we got paid fairly well for a lot of these guys, and that really helped. Jaifula is another one, right? He was terrible for PSPS. He was playing as a starting center back, mostly, for a team fighting relegation, and they got relegated. And you could see one of the reasons why. He was not ready to have a starting role. Average home attendance, just over 6,000, 41% of capacity. If this team's going to have success, I mean, that's fourth place, and they barely grabbed that. They're definitely going to need larger crowds to have some financial success. But we, with the goal of fighting bravely against relegation and getting fourth in the league, that's A+. So they were absolutely thrilled with how we did this season. Understandably so. I mean, you could see some of the struggles early on. We certainly took some losses, but had surprise results at that point. But at the end of the season, a lot of those losses were replaced by more draws, and that added up to a few more points than it was. I mean, you can see from this screen, right? Just 3 losses through here. Where if you look at the beginning of the season, we're looking at 5. And only a couple of draws. Here, plenty of draws. Fewer losses, maybe even a few less wins, 1 or 2 less overall, but it was enough to get us all the way up into 4th place. Early mid-season, I mean, we were 7, 8, 9, and then we ended up finishing battling 4, 5, 6 and getting 4th. So really good year. Club reputation probably improved, but not substantially. No new sponsorships, but we did increase the revenue. The broadcast revenue definitely went up a bit. Corporate and hospitality all went up. Competition prize money was less than a year ago, unfortunately, but it was still a good amount. Of course, a year ago that was winning that title, and we immediately paid almost all of that out. And prize money this year, we didn't. We the turnaround was about $150,000 for the club, so that was good. Match day commercial retail was a bit more than last year, but not a massive difference. Kind of disappointing that there wasn't a bigger increase from not only getting back into League One, but to do so well. Jerseys sold, yes, we did some there. I mean, 1,400 jerseys sold. Eunice sold a lot of jerseys. That was the top selling one. And then Gabriel, Sinji, Sugang, Agung, that midfield, the attacking players. No surprise that Sinji was named Player of the Season, considering he was one of the 10 nominated for the League Player of the Season. Sugang gets the Young Player of the Season, which is a little surprising considering that he wasn't labeled, but at 24, I guess that's why he wouldn't be considered. Maybe our standards are different for that. Gabriel, not terribly disappointing, but certainly not a terribly good year. And I think Guino was pretty impressive, and he's looking to feature even more regularly this coming season. Brief look at the best 11. It's only been 2 seasons, so we're not going to go into depth on that. Tolovic wins Best Player of the Year on 30 goals. He was a Golden Boot winner. Makes perfect sense. Hingara only gets 3rd in the Young Player vote. I think that's entirely down to him being a goalkeeper. He had the best average rating of the entire 10. 7.11 isn't perfect, but for a goalkeeper, for a young goalkeeper, I think he deserved more. Voting points, he only had 2 points. From Insaya had 3 points and 9 points to Maulana, so he won it comfortably. And he was the only striker on the list of 10. He only ended up with 14 goals. That was 1 more than what he had when the voting happened. And yeah, that's not impressive. That's pretty poor. But strikers almost always win it. All right, folks. Well, we finished the year almost bang on level in the payroll budget, just barely over the 1 million that was allowed. So we did so much work to bring that down and make it more reasonable, but the team just continued to lose money throughout the season. Now, 1.33 million in debt. It's not looking good for the future, especially when I don't see how we're going to suddenly turn that around and turn that into profit. We lost another 430,000 this season. It's definitely not as much as we lost last season, but how do you turn that into a profit? I don't know. Even if we manage to keep the payroll at or under 1 million for the entire year, which we spent half the year at 200,000 over. So, okay, that could save us 150,000, maybe 200,000. Maybe we sell a few more in a similar way to we did this year. So bring in the same amount of money, but spend less on payroll throughout the year by, say, 200,000 total over the year. That's still losing 250,000 over the course of the coming season. And that's if we maintain a 4th place. Will I even be here? I don't know. We're going to see what options we have. It's almost Christmas, so it's an odd time for a lot of the leagues. Most leagues are in the middle of their season, but that's European leagues. I don't think we're necessarily going to have that problem at too many of the Asian leagues, so maybe it is off-season for many of them. Next time we'll be taking a look at what jobs are available and see if we can't grab one. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.